Welcome back to our podcast. My name is Coach Kelvin and today we are going to talk about sales because we realize that a lot of salespeople are struggling outside here. And I know you might be wondering, how can you perfect your sales? Because without adequate sales, you cannot keep your business afloat. But first, before we dive into what you need to do to improve your sales, first of all, let us check what are some of the reasons that make your salespeople not produce at the level that you expect. So number one is lack of proper training and experience. I've interacted with salespeople outside here who are not well trained in the necessary skills and the knowledge of the product or the services they are selling. You'll find that they have a particular script that was made maybe a few months ago, a few years ago. So this is the script that they've been reading over and over and over and over again. Let me give you a case example of somebody selling insurance. You'll find that they'll be like, oh, you buy this particular product to protect your family in case you die, they'll be protected. But you realize that right now people are buying due to different needs and desires. So your salespeople should be going through relevant training to help them overcome and also to help them know on how to deal with the customers. Point number two is ineffective sales strategies. You'll find that most organizations are not adopting sales strategies. They are using the outdated strategies that they used some time back. If you want to improve your sales, you must come up with the new strategies that will help you maybe skyrocket and beat your competitors in the marketplace. But if you keep to what gave you results maybe last month, what gave you results last year, what gave you results maybe a decade ago, it might not work in your favor. So you need to refine these strategies so that at least you keep at par with the market competition and the competitive advantages of maybe your product or your services. Then you find that some of the salespeople are not motivated. Let's say, for example, you're having people within your office who have not managed to sell anything maybe in the course of a month or 2 months. For that reason, you'll find that they are not getting the remuneration maybe that they are supposed to get because they've not met their target. So what happens? You'll be dealing with a demotivated salesperson. So when you're dealing with a demotivated salesperson, what happens is they may not be at par to present or pitch the product or services that is required. I remember there's a time one salesperson walked into my office and they were like, we are selling these products. These products are good. They can help you achieve whatever you want. Please buy this product for your wife, for your kids, for your family, because it's a very good product. And I told the salesperson, no, right now I'm not looking to buy that product because I'm not in need of that specific product. What happened next is the salesperson broke tears into my office, crying that she had not made sales for quite some time. She was in arrears of maybe different bills that she needed to pay, and she's really looking forward to close this particular sale so that she can be in a position maybe to get the remuneration and offset her debt. So a lack of motivation can lead to what we call desperate selling. Ensure that you motivate your employees, ensure you motivate your sales team, your sales force, to an extent that when they get to the customer, what comes out at the end of it is the quality of the product or the quality of the service or the solution that the potential buyer might be in. The next step is poor lead generation. So when we talk about poor lead generation, you'll find that you have this salesperson who has numbers, especially when they go out for activation. He or she comes back with hundreds and hundreds of contact, and you feel so happy because you've generated these leads. But what happens is there are poor leads that are not leading to any kind of conversion. So poor lead generation in this aspect is like your salespeople are getting people who are not qualified to buy your product or your services. For example, I'm looking at, let's take for an example that you're in a real estate industry and you're selling maybe plots worth 5 million and above shillings. So you go out for an activation, and then you meet maybe these potential buyers, maybe some people who are walking on foot, maybe some people who are just seated somewhere telling stories, or you walk into a garage and maybe you pitch to these guys and then they show interest. What happens? They'll give you their contact, they'll give you their names, and maybe after calling these people back, you realize that these people cannot buy the kind of property that you're looking for. So ensure that you generate qualified leads to help you close these sales. And the only way you can generate qualified leads is by training your staff to know on how to qualify the leads. Is this person capable of buying? Let's say, for example, you are selling a house maybe worth 20 million and above, and then you walk on the road and find these guys with the small cars and start pitching to them. Yes, I know they can buy the property, but how long will it take them to buy that property? What kind of prospect, qualified prospect, are you supposed to pitch to for you to get that inroad in sales or in closing that client? The next point is inadequate product knowledge. This is something that is affecting most of the salespeople. They have little knowledge of the product, and whatever they've crabbed or whatever they've mastered is maybe the product benefit or the product qualities. So what happens in a situation where your prospect asks you something maybe outside the product that you're selling, or when a prospect asks you something that maybe you are not learned. So as a salesperson, ensure you have quality product. Let's give you an example because I've experienced this for a very long time. I met an insurance salesperson, and after pitching the kind of product that she had, I went on and asked her for some calculations in terms of the policy maturity years, and then we got into some complicated mathematics or calculation in regards to policies and the assurance, things like that. You find that it got to a point this person started mumbling. And for me, what I know only that if you want to save for this particular product, you have to save for a maximum period of 5 years. But if it goes above that, I think I need to consult back in my office to know how much sum assured will be working with here. So you find that just ensure if you want your sales team to produce or to perform best, ensure that you give them enough product knowledge so that when somebody twists the question, they don't get mumbling and confused as if they don't know what they are talking about. Lack of communication, lack of adequate, effective communication is a challenge that is making your sales team not to perform. Teach your sales team how to communicate. The way you communicate to Mwangi, or the way you communicate to Biden, or the way you communicate to Jane, or the way you communicate to Nancy is very different. You cannot communicate to these people the same. Look at the level of the people you're communicating with. Look at how they're different categories. What language are they speaking, and how can you blend in so that you ensure you pick their language. Let's say, for example, you are approaching a customer maybe who is worth millions of shillings. That is the product that you're selling. And then you get there and start maybe communicating things that does not make sense. You talk about maybe politics here and there. Maybe you talk about maybe small things that might not interest these people. If we know how to articulate maybe what you are selling, if you know how to articulate exactly the product or the services that you're selling, you'll find it easier for you to close these sales. Then we have market changes and competition. We are in a changing market because whatever worked yesterday might be obsolete today. Whatever worked last week might be obsolete today. So ensure that you keep in track with the market changes and competition. When we talk about competition, what are your competitors doing that you need to do to maybe dominate the market? So don't just copy what they are doing. Do something that will help you come up with a value proposition that will put you ahead of the rest. So let us see. How can we improve sales? How can you improve maybe the performance of your sales team? Number one is enhance consumer understanding. And when we talk about consumer understanding, do this by conducting a SWOT analysis, do this by conducting research to understand the kind of customers that you're dealing with. What are their preferences? Go deep into the kind of people who are going to buy your product, so that when you go out to pitch outside there, you will be talking exactly the language that your customer is talking outside there. So enhance your customers' understanding. What are their pain points, and how can you position yourself as one of the best service or solution provider to that particular customer. Number 2 is refine your value proposition. And in your value proposition, identify the problem. Once you've identified the problems, tell the customers that whatever you are selling, be it a product or service, will help them solve their problems, improve their lives, and provide tangible benefits. The way to do this is not by reciting maybe the benefits of the product and having the same script for every potential client that you meet. Develop a strong value proposition that your customers or that your prospect may be so stupid, or may be so, sorry using the word, but may be so stupid not to buy. Sorry. So, number 5, provide external customer service. And when you talk about external customer service, how do your salespeople interact with their potential customers outside there? How are they supposed to present themselves? How are they supposed to dress? What kind of language are they supposed to use? What kind of materials are they supposed to carry when they are going to pitch for these particular customers? Then ensure that you have lead generation strategies that will attract qualified leads, to avoid a situation whereby you have to get so much of poor leads that won't lead to a sales. Then the next point is optimize your sales process. You find that there are salespeople who are using maybe the sales process that maybe did not work before, or maybe that something that worked for them before but is not working right now. Ensure your team understands the sales process and they move with the flow, to an extent that when they get to pitch to every client, they get to understand what the client wants, how to deal with them, and merge that to the process that is already existing to ensure that they get the qualified leads. Then the next point is invest in sales and trainings. Training. Adopt a culture whereby you subject your salespeople to extensive learning. By extensive learning, they can read books, for instance. They can maybe attend trainings, they can attend exhibitions, so that at least they get to know what is the current trends, maybe in marketing, in sales, in the product development, and what the competitors are doing. Then leverage on the CRMs, the automation, so that at least you can, once maybe the leads have been generated, through the help of the AIs and the CRMs, it can help them maybe track interactions, maybe level of their desires and such like things. Then monitor and analyze. As you do all this, you're supposed to monitor what works, what is not working, and what you can do to improve. So, and then finally, foster a sales-driven culture within your organization. People tend to believe that sales job is for a particular person, but you come to realize that when you talk about sales, everybody in an organization is a salesperson, from the receptionist all the way to the CEO. Because the moment a new customer walks in your organization, the first person that will sell to them is your receptionist or your administrator in front there. What do I mean by that? Okay, what do you guys do? Tell us maybe more about it. If I wanted to get this particular product, how do I go about it? So it is not the sales teams that go outside there that are the sales people within your organization. From the sweeper, from the gate man, and even to the top management, foster that culture so that at least they can know that sales is part of the process. Then finally is there's nothing which is cast on stone, and you can keep on trying and shifting, trying and perfecting until you get what works for you. When you utilize all this, or when you implement all this, you'll find that your sales process or your sales flow or your sales income will increase by time. But consistency is key. Ensure that you train your people well, ensure they have aware of the product knowledge. In case of any change or in case of any shift in the product or services that you are doing, be in the forefront in maybe enlightening your salespeople so that at least they don't get confused when they get into the market. So this podcast are here to help you perfect maybe your sales process and marketing skills. So if you've not subscribed to our channel, please take a moment and subscribe, hit the notification button so that when we release a video, you don't get missed out. We offer these training services also. If you'd like maybe a training on your sales force, contact Kelvin Consultancy and we'll be there to help your team improve maybe on their presentation, negotiation skills, customer etiquette, closing strategies, and all matters relating to sales. Thank you so much for your support, and I'm really looking forward to having you. Recommend this channel to a friend, share, comment, and let us get your feedback. Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure always having you on the other side of the camera. See you. Thank you.